What it is, what it do, cyber world, it is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. This is the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys have been supporting the movement since day one, numero uno, and I love you for it. Today, I am joined by the CEO herself of the New Orleans Natural Hair Expo, Miss Monique Herbert. Monique, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Fabulosity, darling. Fabulosity. So, Monique, let everyone know, where are you from? What city do you represent?
I represent New Orleans, of course. My hometown is New Orleans. I currently reside in Houston, Texas, by way of Hurricane Katrina, but I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay, cool beans. All right, so everybody's got a story, Monique. Everyone had that moment, that epiphany situation that happened. What was your moment of enlightenment to join the natural journey?
I can honestly say, and it's probably going to sound so shallow, is that I just really wanted curly hair. I'm just going to be really honest. So it started a long time ago. I've been natural over 14 years, so it's been a long time. So I was natural before all of the products that are out now even kind of existed. So one day I was already rocking this Halle Berry kind of short haircut. So I decided to just kind of go from there. I was like, I want to see what my hair looks like natural, curly, in its curly state. So I kind of just let my relaxer start growing out, and I kind of just started clipping the little short ends off that I already had. Like I said before, my hair was already short, so it was an easy kind of transition for me. It wasn't nothing that was shocking to me, because I always loved short hair. Short hair was just perfect for me because it was so easy. So transitioning to even more low maintenance, because curly short hair required no relaxers, no curling irons, no any of that. It just was an easy transition for me. So kind of shallow, but I just wanted curly hair, honestly.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'll share a little bit about my journey. I've been natural for a little less than you, a little over 12 years. And honestly, I was just tired of perming my hair. I was in school and I was just really getting tired of it. And I started doing the braids thing, and my hair is very kinky, very coily, and it's a very tight curl. So when I did not get a perm and it was just going to the braid shop to get it done, it hurt, you know, and I'm tender-headed on top of that too. So that didn't help. That didn't help any. But honestly, and I tell people this all the time when we talk about our journeys, our natural journeys, is I wanted my hair, and as crazy as it sounds, I wanted my hair to be like Tia and Tamara. That's what my that was my idea of what natural is. And oh my gosh, if I just stop using a perm, my hair is just gonna be like that. No. And it took years and years of trial and error with different products, and coming to the realization is, oh, my hair is unique. The textures are different than other people's. So it's not going to necessarily, there's no one product that's going to give you this. Exactly. That's going to give you that effect that you think that you want. Because at the end of the day, your hair is going to tell you what it wants to do.
Basically.
It's going to tell you exactly what it wants to do in that moment in time. So fast forward now. So how do we get from you going, and I'm sure you attended quite a few natural hair shows.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you go from going to these shows and seeing the different products, talking with the different stylists and the educators that are there, to thinking, I think I have something different to offer the industry, and I think I may want to do something different?
It honestly started off just me wanting to do a meetup in New Orleans. At that time, New Orleans didn't really have a natural hair event that was annually thrown there. So it would be pop-up events, maybe a few workshops here and there, but there was nothing annually that was thrown during any time of year that the naturals in New Orleans and the surrounding areas could kind of look forward to. So it kind of popped in my head one day. I was like, I'm going to do a meetup, and of course I picked Essence Festival weekend, just because, one, I'm a teacher by day. So in the summer, June, July, and August, I'm off of work. So that's the best time for me to do whatever I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So that weekend kind of just stuck out to me, and it was, of course, the weekend where as I could visually see the amount of Black women kind of walking through New Orleans that
Mm-hmm.
are from there and also visiting. So it was just kind of like the perfect equation for me. So again, I thought it was going to be this small meetup. I was not expecting it to actually become what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting about 100 people to kind of show up, have a few vendors. We do a little bit of workshops, a few demos, and that's it. So I sent out a few emails, and surprisingly, people actually emailed me back, which I was kind of shocked about, because at the time I was on Instagram and I was kind of just Instagramming my hair. Nothing planned for the expo, nothing mentioned of the expo. So I kind of quietly reached out to a few bloggers that I knew and I watched on YouTube to see if they would be interested in joining me in New Orleans, and they said yes. And the first bloggers that were supposed to join us were the Monroe sisters, which were Michi and Ms. Vaughn. So that was our very first special guest that I reached out to, and they both agreed to come. And I'm still shocked about that because, again, at that time I was considered like a nobody in the natural hair scene. Yeah. And then I kind of started reaching out to all of these brands, and they were like, "Sure, we'll come." And it kind of just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had to kind of find a bigger space than a space that I originally planned to use. So again, I just kind of stepped out on faith. Everything from the first expo was done by me, including the logo, the flyer, everything. So I designed everything myself, the website, everything. So I kind of was like a one-man show at the beginning. And of course, now I have kind of like a small team that kind of helps me put it together.
Yeah.
But that's where it started. It started as a meetup and an idea. And it's kind of grown from there. So it's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I tip my hat to you on it. Because I know I didn't know this backstory to it, but just seeing the impact that it's had around the country and around the world, I tip my hat to you on that, because that's something that's innate, something that someone is going to be putting out there, and to have that faith to push past all the challenges, which we're going to jump into. But what were some of the challenges that you faced that first year?
The first year, probably everything was a challenge. I had never planned an event before ever in life, not a birthday party, not anything. So it was my first thing that I kind of took on logistically, and being responsible for ordering furniture, like the simple things that people just don't know you have to be responsible for, was a challenge. Creating floor plans, creating things that I had no idea how to do, but I had to kind of learn as I went, and YouTube University has always been a godsend. So just kind of maneuvering my way through it, contacting people, staying on top of things, making sure I followed up with people, making sure I reached out to people. That was definitely a big fear of mine, just reaching out to people. Because I was like, at that time, like I said, I was considered in that world kind of like a nobody. So it was always a fear of mine of reaching out to people and getting, of course, the answer no. Did I get a few no's that first year? Most definitely. Do I get a few no's now in the fourth year? Most definitely. But my advice is to just keep going. You have to keep going. You have to take the no, realize that's not your door, keep going, find another door. So that was definitely the challenges I faced at the beginning, just putting it all together and making it make sense, to everyone else besides myself.
Definitely. So what do you feel makes your expo different from all the others?
The fact that it's in New Orleans is like a big thing. I think anything in New Orleans is just times 10. It's definitely a party city, so I like to party. We like to party. We like to have a good time. So when people and attendees come to the expo, it's all about having a good time. We're going to shop. We're going to provide the best vendors. I'm very selective on vendors as well. So we're going to provide the best vendors, the best sponsors. Of course, we're going to have awesome workshops. Our workshops are always free unless it's a specialty workshop. Like this year, we're having a sip and paint with Yolanda, which is Etc. Bond Mag on Instagram. So they're going to be painting actual natural hair paintings and also, of course, sipping. So that one's a little bit different. That one's paid, but the rest of them are free. And they're usually like learning experiences. So people can learn about protective styling, moisture. They can ask a stylist questions as she does a demo and things of that nature. So all of those are free. We also have drink sponsors. So of course it's New Orleans. We're gonna have a little bit of adult beverages walking through. So those are free as well. And as well as we also have free complimentary food, New Orleans style food. So we provide that as well too. We kind of want to get the attendees in there and make sure they stay for as long as possible. So I kind of like to offer them as much as I can to help them stay. Because the longer they stay, of course, the more they learn, the more they shop, and the more they experience. So that's always the goal.
Definitely. And how does things balance out between your expo and, like you said, Essence is going on at the same time? Do you get some of those party goers here and there? How does that work out?
Yes, it does, because we're on a street that's not that far from the convention center. We're actually walking distance. The expo takes place about 2 blocks away. So there's a lot of foot traffic. So again, of course, on that day, we get a lot of foot traffic that kind of just walks by and they kind of can look in. Our venue is all glass, the first floor. So you can look in, you can see the workshops, you can see the demos, you can see the pictures, you can see kind of everything going on. So we definitely get a lot of people that are just walking by and kind of wanting to know what's going on in that space. Of course, we have ads and things that run kind of through Facebook and Instagram too that just kind of let people know that we're also going on during that same weekend. Even though we're not partnered with Essence, but it's just another event that goes on during that weekend.
Right.
So we kind of just push it out there as much as we can ahead of time. I usually start advertising, which is crazy, starting in like October. So as soon as this one's over, like we'll have a flyer done for next year already. In October 1, we'll start going.
Yeah.
So I usually start really, really early. And we kind of just go from there and just kind of let people know that it's something different that's going on. Besides the shows, of course, that's the biggest thing that's going on that weekend. And I'd love to experience Essence as well. But if you want to learn something about natural hair, pick up some of your favorite products that you normally cannot find in New Orleans. Then the New Orleans Natural Hair Expo is the place to be.
Absolutely. No, I like that. That's some, that's some old marketing tricks. You got to hit them, especially as soon as that event is done, it's time to hit them with the next one. You got to hit them early.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And who are some of your guest bloggers that you have featured? I know that every year you've got a bunch of social media influencers that help you out with getting the word out. And also, I believe that they're going to have some workshops and things going on.
Yes, we have worked. Our bloggers this year are Romance, so she K Curly on Instagram. Absolutely love her. Of course, Yolanda's coming back, and she's Etc. Blog Mag on Instagram, and she's doing our sip and paint. And then we have Brosia, which is Ambrosia. She is Brosia on Instagram. And then we have Actual Ashley, which she's new this year. Actually, Brosia and Ashley are new this year. So Ashley will be joining us as well, and she's actually _Ashley with no E, just ASHLY on Instagram. So they'll be joining us as our special guests. And then we'll have a few kind of pop-up guests that come and do workshops for some of our vendors. We'll have a workshop for Uncle Funky's daughter, and we have a blogger that's coming to do that. The main choice is our title sponsor, so of course the CEO, Courtney, will be there, and she'll be doing a workshop. So we have a lot of things that are planned, just not with our bloggers, but also with our sponsors as well.
Gotcha. And so Saturday is the expo, and then Sunday is the brunch.
Yes.
Let's talk about the differences between the two. So Saturday, that's when a lot of the workshops and things are going to be going on, the demos?
Yes.
Okay.
Saturday is like the big day for the shopping and the workshops and the demos. It's kind of like the learning experience, the party of it, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So the big shebang. And then the brunch is like it's the closeout event, so it's smaller. We'll only have 100 people in attendance. It's more intimate. We have a panel as well with our bloggers, but we get to kind of like the nitty gritty things that people really don't like to talk about. So it becomes more of a personal conversation about brands, the industry, blogging, what's really going on, what's really important. So it's a more smaller, intimate event. It's great for networking. So a lot of the people that kind of jump on the tickets early before they sell out are people that kind of want to step into the industry, or they may be thinking about blogging, they may be thinking about starting a YouTube channel. and they kind of want to mingle with the bloggers that's there. And also our sponsors will be there. So we'll have a representative from the Main Choice, Honey Baby Naturals, Kirkalon, Kinkestry, and Curl. So a representative from all of those brands will be there, plus more. So again, it's a good way to kind of network, especially if you're trying to step into the industry or you're thinking about stepping into the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's definitely going to be helpful. So everybody out there that's checking out the show, that's downloading, take note. All right. Without anything else, Monique, at the end of the day, with all your experience, with everything that you've gone through, with building this incredible brand, this extravaganza, should we say, celebrating natural hair, celebrating the natural journey, what advice would you offer to any person that looks to you and says, you know what, I want to do something different, like Monique did? You know, she didn't have the background, you know, she figured everything out. What advice would you offer them as far as starting something new?
I would say plan it out. Jot your ideas down first and then kind of create like a plan. Doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be very, very simple, very, very basic. But kind of list your stuff out. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Then I would say reach out to people. Reach out to as many people as you can. Of course, you're going to have some people that are going to be willing to help, and you're going to have people that are not going to be willing to help. But focus on the people that are willing to help and not the ones that are not willing to help. So again, reach out to as many people as you can and kind of bounce your ideas off of them. Bounce your ideas off of anyone who would listen, who will also listen, but who's also business-minded, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely
Because sometimes you'll bounce your ideas off of people who are not really business-minded, and it doesn't make sense to them because they've never thought of doing anything that big before. So you got to kind of bounce your ideas off of people who kind of think a little bit like you. Not exactly, but a little bit.
Yeah.
So after you reach out to those people, then I would just start reaching out to the people that you need. If you, whatever you need, you'll be surprised how much people will give you if you ask. So if you need bloggers, if you need to reach out to a brand, if you need sponsorship, reach out to these people, but just make sure you have your plan together first. As long as you come with a good, solid plan and it makes sense, people will get back to you. Not everyone, but people will. And again, I would just say keep going. You got to be willing to hear no a lot. You got to be willing to accept no. No sometimes means no. They're not going to do it as, they're never going to do it. But also no can be not right now. So come back to me again when you have a better plan. So I kind of always want to start with a solid foundation, a solid plan, and then just reach out. Reach out to people that can help and reach out to the people you need. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Just do it. I didn't have a business plan, so I can't say the kind of what people kind of say you should have. You should have a business plan. You should have that. You should have this. I really didn't have like a formal business plan. I just had an idea. I sat down. I worked it out. I bounced it off a few people that I knew would give me great feedback. Then I reached out to the people that I needed to help me. And that was it.
Absolutely. Monique, the CEO, the founder of New Orleans Natural Hair Expo. It goes down this year, July 1st through the 2nd. Monique, I'm going to see you there, girl. You know I got to pass through. I'll be there for Essence. So I'm going to pass through and show some love, you know what I'm saying? And post on some social media. But let everybody know, Monique, what's the best way to reach you and how they can find out more information about the Expo?
You can follow the Expo on Facebook and Twitter. We're at New Orleans Natural Hair Expo. And also you can follow me on Instagram. It's Mo on Instagram. If you want to contact me, I can be reached at admin@NewOrleansNaturalHairExpo.com. That's the best way to reach me is via email. And also through social media. I actually do check my DMs. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Monique, much more success to you, my sister. I see great things coming for you. It's on the way. It's all in the works. It's done taken care of already. And I appreciate each and every one of you for downloading the podcast show now. Like I said before, we are 250,000 downloads worldwide. It was not even feasible for me, Monique, years ago when I started this podcast back in 2015. And people was like, oh, girl, that ain't gonna be about nothing. You probably need to just go ahead and do something else. And, slowly but surely you build up your own life. And like you said something that was key with me in coming to the understanding that everyone's not going to understand the vision that's given to you. And it's not their responsibility to understand. And it's not your responsibility to teach them. or to tell them what they need to understand, because the vision was given to you purposely.
Yes.
And it was not given to them. So it is what it is.
You have to find your tribe. You have to find your tribe.
That's right.
Your tribe.
That's right. You got to find your tribe.
Yep.
Find those people that back you. And you guys already know, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice. It's cool. It's fun. But real life is so much better. I'm going to holler back at y'all later. Deuces.